Thank you very much. Guys, you've been absolutely beautiful. It's my heart. Don't run like those people that come forward to support the art. That is what I do. I rely on your honesty and that alone. Thank you so much. If your parents don't give you at least £5, they might not love you. Thank you very much.
I'm not going out to vote on May the 7th because I don't think there's anyone worth voting for, and even if there was, they all seem to lie. So you can't actually believe anything they're saying. So what's the point in having an elective democracy if it's all a sham anyway? They just lie so much. There's no point. It's just, if I listen and then it turns out they lied a year later, then I'm just going to be upset even more. I voted for the last one. I've just learnt more and been more disillusioned with the whole system and got very upset about it. I don't know how to change society for the better, but I'd like to see a peaceful revolution. Go in, take over, build like some sort of administration or just a government that's not allowed to tell lies and you get done for it if they do. So Boris has helped quite a lot. I still think he's evil, but if his way of promoting himself using the buskers has helped me out quite a bit very recently. There's more busking projects across London and the council are being a lot more helpful. There's some places where they have, like in Covent Garden, they have a lot more regulations than some other places. Some places they're setting up where they're just making sure the performers take turns and enforcing that so that no one's bullying anybody. It's got to be a balance, doesn't it? With anything, there's got to be a balance. If there's too much regulation, you're only going to have the top professionals and you're going to stop people learning, which is a great place to learn the street, and it's going to stop people coming out and just trying new things.
People, you don't have to walk away like that. This is our job, this is our living. Don't just walk away like that. Before you leave, before you go, the exit is over here. I can't believe it. You just walk away, not even thank you. Come on people, keep street perform alive. So tomorrow there will be somebody here to entertain you guys. Don't just walk away. Amazing. £5 from this little boy who doesn't have a job.
Sometimes they are generous, sometimes they are not. Depend of kind of people they are. Sometimes they get people from all over the world. And then maybe they might not understand what it is a street performer. So when it comes to street performer, they take it a different way. So many people, they think we are here, we are already paid. Sometimes that's what they think. So we can't really blame them because they didn't pay. We do whinge because we have to, but really we can't kill them because they didn't pay or anything, you know what I mean? So sometimes we get a good tip, sometimes we don't get. It became harder when we was in a recession, but when we come out of recession, things pick up a bit and then it went down again. It went down last year. Personally, I don't think the system is working real fine for us. As me, as a family person, it's not working really nice for me. My old benefits have been cut off, so there's a lot of things I didn't personally, I don't want to talk about it, but there's a lot. It's a lot going on. And financially, it went worse. When you wake up, you want to do something, you're happy for what you're doing. I'm happy for what I'm doing, and that's why you're giving me a threat for going there and do something. Plus, I'm a family guy. This is my job. I rely on it. If I sleep and I stay in the house, then the rest of my family will be struggling. I'll go for Labour, really. It's been good for us in the sense of we didn't have a lot of problems like we have at the moment.
Selfish, but real house is for the poor. Black magic, build a billionaire for you to adore. Right over there, a tank for you to drink from. Send your trunk, and don't you think?
I'm not allowed to vote because I'm not from here. I'm from Israel, and I don't want to go back. Money-wise, you make a lot more on the minimum wage, and you can buy everything about the same amount. So food, you put out the same money, and you have less food. And the rent is the same amount of money, but you, again, the minimum wage and whatever you earn is just so little comparing to all the expenses you have. In here, when you live on minimum wage, you can just go on with it and live properly and have even more than just rent. I want to be like part of this country in opinion, this country is great. I guess some people here have a hard time, as everywhere people have a hard time, but the thing is that here, like, everyone is somewhat of an immigrant, and they are helping other immigrants, as I saw. Like, you have a support of some sort of power that everyone wants to be here, and they're just helping each other. I want the immigrants to be still able to immigrate into here, because whoever immigrated here will work hard to stay here, and he will not stop working. He will just go as an immigrant and continue to find job and continue to work for the good of this country. I think there should be some level of hands out from the government to the artist industry, but maybe there are some more important stuff to put the money on, and that's kind of out of my judgment. I think the music industry and art industry are all building up from international connections, not just national. Of course, there are nationals, and there are a lot of ceremonies and stuff like that do need the funding of the government, but if you're a musician or an artist, that means to do it like worldwide, you will find the fund from wherever it comes. I don't think that I can get a busking license on the visa, because I need to get like a certain permit for certain places, and where we met I cannot busk. I can busk in other places, but not there. Busking is somewhat like essential for musicians in order to survive, because some months you have more money, some months you have less money, and the busking is really helping. So if you have more locations to busking, then it's easier for you as well, like places like this that are full with tourists all the time. And now the election, of course, I am a bit oblivious about this, because I was seeing London as some kind of way to steam out the pressure that I had from Israel, and some place that is quiet. The thing is that when you live here, you're not inside the news. If you want to read the news here, you pick up a paper and you read them. That's another thing that is great about London and awful about my country, that in my country you cannot avoid the news. If you avoid them for long enough, a siren will wake you up, and that's it, and you'll know what's going on. And here people are not living inside the news, they are living alongside that, and each one has their own independent life because they can do everything they want. I've been writing songs that are pro, like pro London and less against, but protesting is something that it's either you feel it inside and you have to write about it, and you cannot contain it anymore, so it has to come out. But it seems like people here live quite good. If the immigration issue will be, yes, we're putting out all the immigrants that came in, we're like shooing them out, I don't know, like vanishing them from this country, then I will have a lot to say in protest songs. And I think England is rational, and it won't do that, like irrational stuff as my country has done.
They should open more areas for buskers, you know, not only in the underground, but, you know, like in South Bank, in the streets, you know, giving more points for performers go when they play. The main priority for me is housing, because I'm kind of, I'm not homeless, but, you know, I see, I have lots of homeless friends, and they are really struggling to get into houses, and, you know, they should give you more opportunity, you know. Well, they're cutting housing benefits, they're cutting loads of benefits that's really helping people that, you know, really need, you know. This is what I think, that they should be helping more. I cannot vote Labour, it is what, you know. I decided recently because, you know, when it was Labour, before 4 years ago, it was more kind of, they're giving more opportunity for everybody, you know, and what the Conservative is just cutting, you know. So, in my understanding, they only help rich people, you know.